Hello everyone, hope you're doing good. In case you haven't clocked from all the stories and stuff, my band Down Radio have just released an EP called Night Shifts, which is a collection of songs that we recorded about 5 years ago and now decided to release and get out there on all the kind of usual channels and that for people to listen to. And to accompany that, I thought I'd do a few videos to talk about the songs themselves and the stuff that I care about, which is all like the sounds, equipment, all that kind of stuff, which is probably going to be boring to most people, so feel free to just scroll past if that's you. So the first song on the EP is called Siren, not to be confused with Andy Siren, our tall, dark and handsome drummer. He's Siren, not Siren, if that makes sense. No, that song was named after this box here. So when we first started playing more of that kind of dubby kind of music, I was listening to a lot of that, and this noise kept coming up over and over again. And to me, it just sounded absolutely great. And so I did some research and found it to be this like really lo-fi bit of kit called a Dub Siren. And I looked on eBay and found this little unfinished DIY project, probably some kind of electronics GCSE thing that some cool kid had done. And I picked it up dead cheap. It wasn't working, but with a bit of wire and a bit of soldering, we managed to get it to make a noise and come to life, as you can see from the kind of reassuring little LED there. So I thought I'd show this to you and talk about why I like it. So let's go. So here it is in all its knackered glory. When it arrived, it didn't have these kind of stickers along the top. Once we got it working, we put them on so we knew what each knob did, but there's not a great deal of rhyme or reason to that, as I'll show you in a moment. And at the moment it's kind of set in the straight up mode that you hear at the beginning of the song. And I'd usually run this into my effects loop, then out of the effects loop and into a mixer and then into the PA. And the reason for that was just to tame it out a bit, because on some of the settings it can get really unruly and start running away with itself, and so you could kind of tame it down using the mixing desk before it went into the PA, just to sort of prevent that. But we don't have that luxury today, so it's going straight dry into the amp. There's a little bit of gain on there, but just kind of what I'd use as a quote-unquote clean sound for my guitar. So the first knob here we've got is pitch. P1 being kind of the highest. So I'll let you hear what that sounds like. I haven't got any effects dialed in yet. So it's just the kind of dry sound. So have a listen to this. I mean, it still sounds great. Yeah, that's the kind of first pitch knob on the up mode with just the normal 1 second. And the second bit just takes it about halfway there. There you go. And the pitch mode 1, confusingly, is really low, so and then you can go obviously half that. But yeah, I really like the way that kind of breaks up. And then just to make it even more logical, mode 2 is kind of halfway between the two, so yeah. So the second knob, I'll just flick it back onto that first kind of pitch, which is the one I mainly used it on, has like modes. So obviously we're in this kind of straight up mode at the moment, straight up to. We then got like a constant, which is kind of a Morse codey type sound. Dry, that's obviously very kind of abrasive, but when you run it through effects and things like that, you can make a decent sound. You've got then like two-tone here. And then you've got the one which is really unruly, which I was talking about earlier on, which is the up-down. And as soon as you trigger that, you're off. There's no way, there's no kind of getting away from it, so I'll trigger it now. And it's just going to keep going up. Yeah, so you can see why I'd run it through the PA first. And then the last knob does like the timings and things like that. So, but I think, so you got like repeat 1 second there. That's the mode where it was in, which is just a straight trigger. That's an automatic trigger. and then downwards. So we'll put it back into kind of normal mode there. And yeah, so that's the kind of three knobs that are on there. You've also got volume, so hopefully it's not too loud. And then you've got the little on-off switch, which you can use as a bit of a kill switch if you want to. Did it with my left hand, so there we go. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, so I guess we'll go over to the Dusty pedal board now, and I'll show you the kind of effects that I'd run in. But essentially, it's basically a ray gun in a box rather than a gun, like a kid's ray gun. So it's amazing. So here we are at the Dusty Trusty pedal board. There's been a few changes to this since Down Radio days, but mainly just with stuff breaking and like patch cables needing to be fixed. And I've also got like a looper there, which is fun when playing on my own, and the whammy there. But it all kind of runs through this one control, which is just a looper, just to save the signal path when you're going through all these different pedals. It cleans it up a bit, so whichever pedal you've got selected, it'll just run through that particular one, rather than running through them all at once. And for the Dub Siren, you really want kind of a good analog delay, which I've got the memory boy over here. I've been using that for many years. And I like to set that just before it starts to kind of self-oscillate, which is a crazy thing that analog delay pedals do when they kind of start delaying on the delay, and it just it sort of ascends into chaos. But I like to have it just kind of on the precipice there, just before it kind of gets there, and then just add some reverb on top of that just to make it sound nicer. And I used to use actually this Holy Grail Plus, belongs to Ed actually, but it died. I think it's a common fault, but I don't actually own a surface mount solderer, so I could do with, I think it's one of the resistors has gone, but I'll either fix that or buy a new one. But at the moment I've got this TC Electronic doing the job over here, Sky Surfer or whatever it's called. But yeah, I think that the effects on this Dub Siren really kind of bring it to life and make it into a usable tool when you're playing live. So I'll take you back to the desk now and we'll have a listen. Right, so back here, I've got the effects dialed in now, so I hope that you can kind of hear how the sound changes and kind of brings it to life now. So I'll keep it in that same mode that it was in, just a straight up mode, and you can have a listen to what it sounds like now. Yeah, so like it really accents the kind of decay on the as it comes back down the cycle. And then if I flick it onto that crazy up down mode, yeah, so we used to play Siren first live, and that noise being the first thing that something that you sort of an audience member would hear as a listener. I think it really made people's ears prick up and at least pay attention for a moment, because it's such a distinctive sound. And I absolutely love it. So I guess this goes back in the box now for another few years or whatever. But anyways, I guess let me know if you found this kind of fun or interesting or anything like that, and I'll do more, talk through a bit more gear and things like that. In the meantime, have a good listen to the EP, Down Radio, Night Shifts, Spotify, iTunes, all that shit. And yeah, if you're at the end of this video, cheers, nice one.